Hello, my name is April, and today for my final project, I'm going to be cooking enchiladas. These are the very famous dish in the Mexican culture. So the first step is we bought this at our local super. And we're going to be getting these chiles. It's called Chile California, and we're going to be boiling it. So this is how it looks like. First product we're going to be using. We're just going to get maybe something like of this size. Putting some water, and we're going to start boiling them. We're pouring some water into this bowl about halfway. We're not going to put the chiles in there immediately. We're just going to just prepare the water. So we're going to put it about halfway. Remember, we have to wash this. So once it's halfway, we're going to start washing our chiles, because we obviously want them to be pretty clean, obviously. And we're just going to wash it, put it in the settings, so we can just wash them. And if you are wondering how much time we're going to be boiling it, we're going to be boiling it for about 15 minutes. Just so we can really get everything from all the flavor from these chilies. Because this is basically going to be the sauce. Okay, so they have been washed. I want to put a little bit more water. And now we're going to pour all of them, all of the chilies inside of here. Even the small ones, doesn't matter the size. After this, we have many more ingredients that, meanwhile, it's boiling for 15 minutes. We're going to be preparing other stuff. So, we're going to be going ahead and turning this on. So now, meanwhile, we're waiting for this. I already put some chicken to be boiling. So now it looks like it's ready. It's just plain chicken breast. So, if you want to make this, you got to get the chili, the chicken breast. So now, it's getting pretty hot. So, we're going to go ahead and just turn off the chicken. And it's... If you look close into the camera, it's pretty ready. We're going to just let it cool down for a little bit. So it's been about 15-20 minutes. I kind of let it cook for a little bit more. Just so we can, because the more you let it boil, the spicier it can get. So depends on who you're going to be feeding. If you want it spicier, just let it boil for a little bit more. So, so we're going to be taking out all. They look, you know your chicken's ready when it's like that. Tendery. You know it's not ready when you're touching it while it's boiling and it's still hard. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Also, one more thing. Another Mexican dish that I can also make is like tostadas de pollo. So it's like a tostada, you put pollo, a lot of other stuff. And one of the things that we use is the soup. So like the water. So this type of water from right here that got boiled is something that a lot of people in the Mexican culture consume. Even right now, sometimes it's kind of like consomme. You can just drink that. It's just the water from the chicken. So we're going to be letting it cool off, and we're going to start shredding it. If you're in a hurry and people are going to get home and you kind of want to have the food ready, you just put it in the fridge for a little bit and let it cool down. That's going to help it a lot more. So yeah. So we put out the chili, and now we're going to be just taking out the water, and we're going to get it ready so that we can put it in the... And we're going to be putting it in the blender after we take the water out. So you can even put just cold water in it if you want to hurry up the process. It can not be that hot because it's still pretty hot stuff. This is probably the most annoying part of it. We got to take this piece out of each and every single one of the chiles. And after you do that, you're going to put it into the blender. You do this after it's boiled, not before. Because that's just kind of, you don't need that in the food. It's kind of like nasty when you're taking them. It makes the sauce be not that good, and we're going to be doing that for as long as it needs to take. So a part that I accidentally forgot to mention is we also put a tomato in the water while you're also boiling the, water's a little hot. While you're boiling the chile, this also just adds a little bit of a flavor. When you don't put tomato, you actually do tell the difference. Instead of putting all of these chiles, we're just going to be putting maybe 2 tomatoes and all the chiles that fit inside. Okay, so now we're going to be using these 3 condiments. We're going to be using garlic powder. It's not really an exact measurement. You just kind of maybe 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. That's my measuring. Obviously some Italian seasoning. Same thing. And then they're going to be using this, very famously used in many recipes in the Mexican culture. It's caldo pollo. It's just chicken flavor. So this one, you have to make sure you use 1 spoonful of it. This is really what makes it affects the flavor a lot. Then, remember the water that I said from the chicken. You're going to be getting a size like this. A mug size full, and you're going to be, this is about half. I'm gonna be doing 2 of these. So a full mug size of the chicken water. This also adds very good flavor to the sauce that you're gonna be making. You're gonna be getting onion, about this size. Putting it all in there, again, for the flavor. Now when you're done with that, you can go ahead and close it and put it in the blender. You want, depending on how much chile you put in all of that, you want the color of it to look like this. It's like a dark red. Sometimes you see a little bit of the chili flakes, but that's the ideal color that you want it to look like. So if it's looking like that, you know you did it correctly. So we're going to be using a little bit of this grapeseed oil. This is just kind of what we use all the time. And we're going to eyeball it. Just going to put a little bit of oil into this pan that we started heating about 2 minutes ago. About that much is fine. And then we're just going to be using maybe the other half of the onion that I just used, and we're going to be putting it in there. This is for flavor, of course. In the quesadillas sauce, you don't necessarily eat an onion. You kind of just taste it more for the flavor. And then we're going to be stirring this up for about 2 minutes. So about 2 minutes past now, the onion looks very dehydrated by now. And we're going to be putting the sauce. Put all of it inside. And it's going to be looking like this. Maybe you want to stand a little bit more because it's popping. So it's missing a little bit of flavor. I just tasted it. And we're going to put maybe one of these. This is a very strong. And then we're just going to put more garlic powder, and a little bit more of pepper as well. Just because I feel like it needs a little bit more. And then we're going to mix it again and see if it's ready. We're not going to necessarily let it boil. We're just going to let it stay at the same heat, get a little bit hotter. We're going to leave it here. We don't have any exact minutes, but now we're going to start shredding the chicken. Now we put it in the freezer. So this chicken, when you're done shredding this chicken, we're going to start with that again. That's your clock, basically. So it's going to be the same thing. Our hands already washed them. Now we're just going to be literally, if you just look up close, we're just squishing it. You can even go like that, shredding it. This is how we always been doing it. And this, remember, it was boiled. We just put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, sorry. So it really doesn't really taste like nothing, but remember, the best thing about the enchilada is more the sauce. That's where the most important thing comes from. So now we're going to double season it. Put some pepper and salt. Very simple. About that much. Make sure you don't go crazy on the salt, because that's how you can mess up the food. About that much is fine. Remember, it's always better to put less than more. And again, we're going to go in with our hands. That's just, I don't know, we've just been doing that forever, so yes. And that's it. You're going to be getting these tortillas. It really doesn't matter what brand, as long as if you go into a Mexican, they sell Mexican food. Just find any tortilla that is corn, maíz. This is basically the only ones that we use enchiladas. We make enchiladas with.
Just try it.
So this sauce is ready. We never really let it boil. We just gonna let it keep at the same heat. We're gonna be using again this grapeseed oil. We're gonna be putting some oil on this pan that we let, get hot for a little bit. And then we're gonna cover it. Just imagine the bottom of the pan has to be full. That's all you gotta do. Like I said, we're gonna be using the brand Romero, and we're gonna be using this brand for the tortilla. And honestly, all you're gonna do, very simple. You just put it here. You kind of just let it. Think about the tortilla as taking a shower in the oil. It's very simple. It's not necessarily getting fried. We're just kind of just drowning it in the oil. Let it go. And then once you do that, oops, sorry, you gotta go like this a little bit. So now, after you did that, we're going to go ahead and put this tortilla. I'm going to dip it in this sauce fully. And then we're going to put it back. The reason why I put the oil first is because the oil kind of helps the sauce stick to the tortilla again. Easier. Same thing. You're gonna do that. Try to have the whole thing covered. If it's not, it's fine because we do we put sauce all the time. So now we're gonna put a little bit of frijoles. This is something I didn't really show in the video because it's more optional. We're mainly gonna put chicken in them, but this is just an option. You don't have to put this if you don't want to. We're gonna do this 4 times for each one. And after that, we're gonna go to the chicken station, like I said earlier, and we're gonna put some of this chicken in. Of course. So then I'm putting it all over. Of course, you can put the amount you want. It really just depends on who you're serving, how much you want, and stuff like that. This is how you roll it. You tuck it in, then you roll it. Like I said, it's kind of like a messy food to make. Your hands are not going to be clean. The plate is not going to be clean. But the food is very much worth it. So now we're going to put a little sour cream. In this sour cream, and kind of just go like that. Obviously, it just depends on the person and how they like to spread it around. This is how I spread it around. We're going to put it in like a little napkin. And then you have 2 options. This is called queso fresco. This, you can put it with a little bit of onion, the little small onion, or the normal one. I only like the one with cheese. So you put cheese on top. A lot of people put like lettuce. It really just depends. But I'm very simple. I like it more plain. So now we're going to try the food. See if I like my creation. I'll put it in a nicer plate now. So. I made it really good. So if you want to make enchiladas, follow this recipe.